Angela sat quietly on the edge of the hotel bed, her white wedding gown hanging on the wall nearby, shining like a star. Her heart beat with excitement. In just a few hours, she would become Mrs. Angela Daniels, the wife of a billionaire. Life was finally giving her everything she ever dreamed of. Her phone buzzed in her hand. It was a voice note from Daniel. She smiled and pressed play. Daniel's smooth voice came through, sweet and full of passion. "I can't wait to be with you on our honeymoon, baby. We're going to Dubai. I booked the best suite just for us. Don't let anything stress you today, okay? You know people are jealous that a handsome billionaire like me is marrying the most beautiful woman in this city. That's why they're spreading nonsense, all those rumors about me and Pastor Timothy. Lies, jealousy. Don't listen to them, my love. I adore you. I cherish you. You're my world, Angela." Angela blushed. Her chest warmed. Daniel, she thought, always so sweet. She held the phone to her heart and closed her eyes. It felt good to be loved, to be wanted. But the smile on her face faded quickly when she remembered something. Tasha, her best friend and bridesmaid, had mentioned those same rumors last week. She had said Daniel and Pastor Timothy were too close. But Angela had shut it down. "People always talk," she had said. "Today is my day," she whispered. "Nothing will spoil it." Just then, the hotel door opened. Tasha walked in. "Bride of the year," she said, smiling. Angela smiled back. "How do I look?" Tasha took one long look and nodded. "You look like a queen. Daniel is lucky." Angela giggled. "I think so too." But Tasha's smile faded a little. She looked at her seriously. "Angela, I know this might not be the right time, but I need to say it." Angela frowned. "Say what?" Tasha took a deep breath. "I don't trust Daniel." Angela rolled her eyes instantly. "Oh, not again, Tasha. I'm serious. I know today is your big day, but I just can't keep quiet anymore." Angela frowned. "I know why you're saying this." Tasha looked confused. "Why?" Angela turned slowly. "Because he asked you out once, before we even became friends." Tasha's mouth dropped open. "You think I'm jealous?" Angela didn't answer. The silence was loud enough. Tasha shook her head. "Wow, so that's what you believe?" Angela sighed. "Look, Tasha, I love you. You're my best friend. But please, not today. I'm begging you. Let this go. Don't ruin my day." "I'm not trying to ruin anything. I'm trying to protect you. Some rumors are flying." Angela cut her off. "Please, not again. This is my day. Don't bring drama." Tasha raised her hands. "Fine, I'm sorry, Madam Bride. I'll zip it." Just then, Angela's phone rang. She picked it up without checking the number. "Hello?" A calm woman's voice spoke on the other end. It was serious, cold. "If you want to know the truth about your soon-to-be husband, go to Golden Palm Hotel, room 501, right now. Don't tell anyone. Just go. You'll see everything with your own eyes." Then the call ended. Angela froze. Tasha noticed. "What's wrong?" Angela stared at her phone, her hand shaking. "Nothing. Wrong number." Tasha wasn't convinced. "You sure?" Angela forced a smile. "Yes, I'll be right back. Just need to clear my head." "Where are you going?" Angela grabbed her bag. "Just trust me." And before Tasha could say another word, Angela rushed out of the hotel room, heels clicking, heart pounding, eyes wide with fear and confusion. The message from Daniel rang in her head again. "Don't believe the rumors about me and Pastor Timothy." Angela didn't want to believe, but something told her. She needed to see it for herself. Angela's hands trembled as she sat in the back of the taxi. The city passed her by in a blur. Her heart beat faster than ever before. The driver tried to make small talk, but she wasn't listening. Her eyes were fixed on her phone, her mind spinning with 100 thoughts. Golden Palm Hotel, room 501. That voice on the phone had sounded so sure, so serious. Who was she? How did she know Daniel? Why call now, on her wedding day? Angela clenched her jaw. Number Daniel would never do anything to hurt me. He just told me this morning how much he loved me. We're going to Dubai. He planned everything. He was excited. There's no way he'd be lying. There's no way. But doubt had already started to dig into her heart like a knife. 15 minutes later, the taxi stopped outside the Golden Palm Hotel. It was a beautiful building, quiet, elegant, clean. But to Angela, it now looked dark and suspicious. She walked straight to the front desk. "I'm here to surprise someone," she said with a forced smile. "Can you point me to room 501? The receptionist hesitated, but then nodded. "5th floor, straight down the hallway to your right." Angela's heels clicked sharply on the marble floor as she moved toward the elevator. Her mind screamed at her to turn back, but something stronger pushed her forward. The hallway was silent. Each step she took echoed. She found room 501 at the far end. Her hand reached out and touched the door handle. Her chest rose and fell quickly. "Please let this be a mistake. Please let me open this door and find nothing." She turned the knob. It was not locked. Then she heard it. Laughter, a man's voice, moaning, another voice. Angela's heart nearly stopped. She stepped forward slowly. The bed was in clear view now, her knees almost buckled. Daniel, Pastor Timothy, in bed, together. Angela's mouth opened, but no sound came out. Her heart shattered into pieces. She stepped backward, shaking her head. No, this can't be real. Daniel jumped off the bed, his eyes wide with panic. "Angela!" Pastor Timothy grabbed the bedsheet, covering himself. "Oh my God!" Angela finally found her voice, and it came out like a scream. "What is this?" Daniel rushed to her. "It's not what you think." She backed away, tears blinding her. "Don't you dare lie to me. Don't you dare." "Angela, please. You told me you loved me. You told me not to listen to the rumors." Pastor Timothy spoke softly. "Angela, calm down." "Shut up," she yelled. "You, a pastor, you were going to bless our wedding today." Daniel tried to hold her hand, but she slapped him across the face. "You betrayed me. You lied. You planned a whole wedding while hiding this." Daniel's voice shook. "I didn't mean for you to find out like this." Angela laughed bitterly, wiping her tears. "Oh, I was supposed to marry you and never know, right? Just live with the lies." Pastor Timothy stepped forward. "Angela, there's a lot you don't understand." She turned to him. "You think I care what your excuse is? You're a man of God. What kind of filthy hypocrisy is this?" Daniel tried again. "I didn't want to hurt you. I really do love you." Angela looked at him with burning eyes. "You don't know what love is." She stormed out of the room. Everything inside her was burning. She had given her heart to a demon in disguise, and her pastor was the devil who helped him hide. Angela stood alone in the hotel compound, her arms folded tightly across her chest, her wedding gown stained with sweat. Then she heard footsteps behind her. She turned and saw Daniel, his eyes filled with panic and tears. He walked up to her quickly, his lips trembling. "Angela, baby, please. Please listen to me," he said. She didn't speak. She didn't move. She just stared at him like he was a stranger. He went down on his knees right there in the middle of the hotel compound. "Please, it was the devil. It was the devil and Pastor Timothy. He used me. I swear to God I didn't want any of this. I don't even know how it started. I was weak. I'm sorry, baby. Please forgive me." Angela blinked slowly, her lips tight. "You're sorry." He nodded quickly. "Yes. It's not who I am. I've been trying to stop this. I swear. I didn't mean to hurt you. I love you. You're the only one I love." Angela scoffed. "Then why were you in bed with him?" Daniel looked down, ashamed. "It's hard to explain, but you need to understand my past. Maybe then you'll pity me." She didn't respond. He continued. "My mother left when I was just 5 months old. She abandoned me and my father. I never knew what a mother's love felt like. And my father, when I turned 10, he started doing bad things to me. Things no child should ever experience." His voice cracked. "Since then, I've been damaged, confused. I've lived with shame and secrets. I didn't choose this life. I was pushed into it. I've tried to be normal. I tried to be straight. I thought marrying you would fix me." Angela's chest rose slowly. Her anger was still there, but something in her softened. Pain was pain. She had never heard this part of his story before. "So, all this is because of your past?" she asked, her voice low. Daniel nodded. "Yes, I've battled this demon for years. And Pastor Timothy, he took advantage. He knows my weaknesses. He promised to help me spiritually, but instead he used me. Angela looked away, her heart confused. Do you even love me? With everything in me, Daniel said. You are the light in my darkness. You are the only one I've ever wanted to marry. That's why I told you not to listen to the rumors. That's why I planned the Dubai honeymoon. Everything I did was for you. She turned slowly. What about the hotel staff? They saw everything. What if they talk? Daniel stood up quickly, his voice hushed. No one will talk, I promise. The hotel belongs to Pastor Timothy. He owns it. Every worker here answers to him. They won't say a word. They're scared of him. He's powerful, influential. He can destroy anyone who tries to speak. Angela stared at him, her mind racing. Her wedding was supposed to be a dream, yet here she was, at the center of a storm she never saw coming. He reached out to hold her hand, but she stepped back. Don't touch me. Please, baby. I'm begging you, he whispered. Don't call off the wedding. Don't disgrace me. Don't disgrace us. I will do anything. Anything you say. She looked him dead in the eye. Anything? Yes, he nodded quickly. Then listen carefully, she said, her voice like ice. This marriage will go on. But from this moment forward, you belong to me. You will do whatever I say. You will never question me. I don't care where I go, who I talk to, or what I do. You will never open your mouth to ask me anything. You have no right to speak unless I say so. You lost that right the moment you betrayed me. Daniel swallowed hard. Yes, baby, I agree. I promise. You agree that I can do whatever I like, and you won't say anything? Yes, he said again. You're my wife. You own me now. Just, please, let the wedding continue. Angela turned away, closed her eyes for a second, then whispered, Let's go. The wedding continued. A new pastor was called in last minute to replace Pastor Timothy, who had suddenly fallen ill. The hall was full. The decorations were perfect. Guests clapped. Cameras flashed. Angela walked down the aisle, looking like royalty. Her smile was fake, but it was strong. Daniel stood at the altar, smiling like nothing was wrong. Inside, he was terrified. The new pastor began the ceremony. Do you, Angela, take Daniel to be your lawfully wedded husband? Angela looked at Daniel with power in her eyes. I do. Do you, Daniel, take Angela to be your lawfully wedded wife? I do, he said quickly. Rings were exchanged, cheers filled the air. They kissed, the guests applauded. But only 2 people in that room knew the truth. Angela had married him not out of love anymore, but out of power. And Daniel, he was no longer in control. He had begged, he had lied. And now he was hers. Completely. Forever. It had been only 2 weeks since the wedding, but Daniel already knew his life had changed forever. Not in the way he expected, not in the way he hoped. He had thought that once the ceremony was over, things would go back to normal, that Angela would soften, forgive him, and they could start a new life together. But he was wrong, completely wrong. Angela had not forgotten. She had not forgiven. She had only agreed to marry him to keep her pride, to protect his image. But in her heart, something had turned cold. Angela spoke only when she wanted to, and Daniel had learned quickly not to ask questions. One bright afternoon, Angela was sitting in the living room in her silk robe, scrolling through her phone when her phone rang. The ringtone echoed through the quiet house. Daniel was sitting across from her, watching her closely. She smiled as she picked the call. "Hello, darling," she said, her voice sweet. Daniel's face changed. His brows lifted slowly. "Darling?" He listened carefully. The conversation continued. Angela laughed softly and sweetly, touching her hair like a shy schoolgirl. "Oh, that's wonderful. No, he's not around." "Yes. Tonight?" Maybe. Call me later." She ended the call, still smiling. Daniel's jaw tightened. He turned to her shocked. "Angela, what is this?" Angela slowly dropped the phone and walked over to him. "You're raising your voice." Daniel stood. "Are you seeing someone else?" She smiled coldly. "I thought we had an agreement." "But Angela, this is our home." "And? Should I remind you again who you are?" Daniel's lips trembled. "But you're my wife." "Exactly. I am your wife. But you are my slave. You gave me that power. You said I could do whatever I wanted. You begged me not to disgrace you. So this is your life now." Daniel's eyes filled with tears. "This is not fair." Angela laughed lightly. "Oh, you want fairness? Like what you and Pastor Timothy did to me on our wedding day." He couldn't speak. Angela walked to the door, grabbed her handbag, and turned to him. "I'm going out. I'll be back when I feel like it. Don't call me. Don't message me." In just 2 weeks, the mighty billionaire who once controlled everyone had now become a prisoner in his own house. And Angela? She was only just getting started. 1 month later, Pastor Timothy and Daniel sat silently in the same hotel room that had once been their secret place. The air between them was heavy, full of unspoken anger and fear. Daniel looked more tired. Pastor Timothy watched Daniel with sharp eyes. "You've been avoiding me again," he said calmly. Daniel didn't respond. He kept his head down. "I don't like being ignored," the pastor added. Daniel looked up, voice low. "I told you I'm done." Pastor Timothy laughed bitterly. "You keep saying that, but here you are, again, in this same room." "You forced me," Daniel snapped. "You said if I didn't come, you'd send the videos." "I still can," the pastor said, "one click. And your wife, your business partners, the whole world will see what we shared." Daniel clenched his jaw. "We didn't share anything. You used me. From the beginning." Pastor Timothy frowned. "And you let me. Because you needed me. You liked the power, the money. Don't act innocent now." Daniel frowned too. "I've changed." The pastor smiled. "You can't change what's already recorded. You can't delete your truth." Grace, Pastor Timothy's wife, was walking down the market street that hot Thursday afternoon, when she saw a familiar face coming toward her from the opposite direction. Angela. Grace stopped without thinking. She didn't mean to stare, but Angela's presence was too strong to ignore. Grace forced a polite smile. "Angela, long time." Angela paused, raised one brow, and folded her arms. "Good afternoon, Ma." Grace hesitated. "We haven't seen you in church for a while now." Angela stared at her in silence. Grace smiled nervously. "I just wondered, is everything okay?" Angela stepped a little closer. Her tone was calm, but sharp like a blade. "Do you really want to know why I stopped coming to church?" Grace blinked. "If you don't mind sharing." Angela frowned. "If I tell you, you'll regret ever asking me." Grace's face tightened. "What do you mean?" Angela took one more step forward. "Do you still want to know?" Grace looked into her eyes for just 2 seconds, then looked away quickly. Something in Angela's stare felt like fire. It wasn't anger, it was power. Quiet, dangerous power. Grace stepped back. "No, don't bother." Angela smiled coldly and walked away without another word. That night, Grace sat on the bed with her husband, Pastor Timothy. She said quietly, "I saw Angela today." Timothy's hand froze in the air. She looked at me, like she could burn me with her eyes. She said something strange. Timothy's voice was low and tense. "What did she say?" "She said if she tells me why she left the church, I'll regret ever asking." Timothy's face turned red. "That witch?" Grace was shocked. "Witch? Stay away from her," he barked, suddenly angry. "Don't talk to her again. Don't greet her. Don't go near her." Grace blinked. "Timothy, what's going on? Why are you reacting like this?" He picked up his phone and walked to the living room. "Don't ask me. Just do as I say." Grace sat there, confused and a little afraid. For the second time in 2 weeks, she had seen her husband behave like a man hiding something. She didn't know what Angela had done, but she could feel it. Angela wasn't the one who was afraid. Her husband was. Angela came home late with a man. Daniel was sitting in the living room when the door opened. He looked up and froze. She walked in like a queen, dressed bold, confident, no fear in her eyes. The man behind her was tall, fine and smiling, like he belonged there. Daniel stood up. "Who is this?" Angela smiled. "My guest." "Relax, Daniel. You look like you've seen a ghost. What's the big deal?" "I thought we agreed that I could do whatever I want." Daniel stepped forward. "This is not just anything. You brought a stranger into our home. Are you mad?" Angela removed her heels. "Relax. I thought we had an agreement. I do what I like, remember?" Daniel pointed at the man. He has to leave. Angela laughed. Why? Because it's your house? You forgot you lost that right. She turned toward the stairs. Come upstairs. Join us. 3 can play. I know this is what you like. Daniel's face darkened. You're sick. This has to stop. I can't take it anymore. Angela walked back to him slowly. You want it to stop? Make noise. Let the world know. But remember, I have the full story. Daniel stayed silent. Angela's voice dropped. You make one more mistake, and those videos go out. Headlines. Shame. Silence is your only peace now. She turned and said to the man, Let's go. They went upstairs. Daniel stood frozen, humiliated again. He sat down slowly, his hands on his head. Angela had warned him. Now he was living it. This was her house, her rules, her game, and she was playing to win. A month later, Daniel sat alone inside a dark hotel lounge, hidden in the corner like a shadow. His face had changed. His eyes no longer sparkled. His shoulders hung low like a man carrying too many secrets. The door opened slowly. Pastor Timothy walked in. You called, Timothy said plainly. Daniel nodded. Yes, I need to talk. Pastor Timothy leaned back. I'm listening. Daniel exhaled. She's gone, Pastor. Angela, she's not the woman I married. She brings men to the house now. Boldly, without shame. She doesn't even care if I see her. She just laughs and walks past me like I'm a statue. Pastor Timothy's face darkened. I warned you. I told you not to marry that foolish girl. I said let's leave. Run far away. Start a new life. You refused. Daniel looked up. She's my wife. I couldn't just walk away. Wife? Pastor Timothy hissed. That woman is not a wife. She's a demon in a woman's body. I knew from the start. I felt it in my spirit. But I made vows, Daniel whispered. Vows? Timothy scoffed. What vows? She broke every vow the moment she brought a man into your house and told you to join them in bed like it was normal. Daniel rubbed his eyes. I blame myself. I blame my father. If he hadn't messed me up as a child, I wouldn't be living like this. Timothy softened a little. Don't blame yourself, my dear Daniel. You were hurt. You needed healing. That's how I found you. You needed love. And I gave it to you. Daniel's lips moved, but no words came. He just nodded. There was silence between them for a few seconds. Then Pastor Timothy leaned forward slowly and lowered his voice. But enough is enough. You can't keep living like this. You're a man, Daniel, not a slave. Daniel looked confused. What are you saying? Pastor Timothy stared into his eyes. I'm saying, we should end her. Daniel frowned. What? I'm saying we should end Angela, unalive her, finish her before she finishes you. Daniel sat up. Are you hearing yourself? Pastor Timothy nodded calmly, very clearly. Look at you. You're broken. You're depressed. You're shrinking in your own house. You don't eat. You don't sleep. She walks all over you like dirt. She's unaliving you slowly. Why wait for her to finish the job? Daniel stood up, shaking his head. Number never. I love my wife. Pastor Timothy slammed the table. Love? You love her? What about me? What about everything we shared? Or have you forgotten? Daniel stared at him. I haven't forgotten, but I also can't live like this anymore. I can't keep hiding. I can't keep being your puppet, or hers. I want my life back. Pastor Timothy's face twisted with anger. You ungrateful child, after everything I gave you, my time, my money, my body, my soul. Enough, Daniel snapped. This thing we're doing, it's evil. You knew it. I knew it. We just didn't stop. But I'm stopping now. It ends here. Pastor Timothy pointed at him. Don't push me, Daniel. Don't act brave. You're still the same scared little boy who crawled into my arms looking for safety. That boy is gone, Daniel said. I'm a man now, and I choose my wife. I choose my marriage. I won't lose myself again. Timothy's eyes narrowed. You'll regret this, Daniel nodded. Maybe, but I'll regret it as a free man, not as a prisoner. Pastor Timothy stood up slowly. You don't get to walk away. You walk away, I talk. I'll tell everyone. I'll expose you. You'll be ruined. Daniel took a deep breath and stepped close to him. You can't try it. Oh really? the pastor challenged. Try me. If I go down, Daniel said calmly, you go with me. You know I kept copies too, of everything, all the videos, the pictures, the messages. You're not the only one with evidence. Pastor Timothy froze. You wouldn't dare. Oh, I would, Daniel said. So be careful. Pastor Timothy picked up his phone angrily and walked out of the hotel room without looking back. Daniel sat down again, heart pounding. Sweat poured down his neck. He had finally said it. He had finally stood his ground. But inside he was shaking. Not because he was afraid of Timothy, but because he didn't know what was coming next. One enemy was dangerous. Two were deadly. Angela was still at home, still ruling his life like a queen with a crown made of secrets. She had made him into her slave, and he had let her. But now, he was starting to fight back. He walked out of the hotel into the night air, his mind racing. He didn't know what tomorrow would bring. But one thing was clear, the war had officially begun, and he was no longer afraid to fight. It was a cool Saturday afternoon. Angela sat in the garden behind her mansion. She looked peaceful, but inside her heart, storms were still blowing. The war with Daniel was still going on, but now it was silent. No shouting, no threats, just cold stares, locked doors, and unspoken pain. Daniel no longer tried to argue. He avoided her completely. But Angela didn't mind. She had won. Or at least that's what she told herself. Then her best friend Linda walked in. She had called Angela earlier, saying she wanted to visit. Angela didn't say no. Angela smiled. You came. Of course I did, Linda said. You sounded off on the phone. I'm fine, Angela said. Just needed fresh air. Linda sat beside her and looked around the big compound. This house is still beautiful, but it feels empty now. No music, no laughter, no joy. Angela nodded. It's just quiet. That's all. Linda looked at her carefully. How's your husband? Angela didn't answer right away. She just shrugged. He's alive. Linda's eyes widened. Angela, what's really going on? I've been hearing things, stories, from neighbors. People say you bring men into the house. Some say Daniel doesn't talk to anyone anymore. They say you treat him like a dog. Angela frowned. And what do you say? Linda sighed. I say you've changed. This is not the Angela I used to know. You're cold. You're proud. You're angry all the time. And you're doing things I don't understand. I came to ask you, what happened? Angela looked down at her glass for a moment, then looked back at her friend. Let me ask you something, Linda. If your husband did something unforgivable, if he broke your heart in the worst way, would you still treat him like a king? Linda frowned. That depends on what he did. Angela leaned back. If you know what Daniel did to me, I bet you would do worse than I'm doing right now. Linda sat up straight. Then tell me, what did he do? Angela stared into the trees. You wouldn't want to hear it. Try me, Linda said. I'm your friend. Talk to me. Angela shook her head. Some things are too deep, too painful, too dark. Linda sighed. I'm not here to judge. I just want to understand. Because right now, you're hurting yourself too. This anger, it's eating you from the inside. Angela sighed. Don't worry, it's nothing. Nothing, Linda repeated. Angela, this man is still your husband. If you won't forgive him, why not walk away? Angela laughed bitterly. Because walking away is easy. Making him feel what I felt. That's the real lesson. Linda shook her head. You're not punishing him. You're punishing yourself. You're stuck in a war, and both of you are losing. Angela looked her in the eye. He started it. Maybe he did, Linda said softly, but if you keep this up, you'll become worse than him. Angela sighed again. Her voice was low. I loved him with everything in me. I planned my future around him. And he destroyed me. What did he do? Linda asked again. Angela turned around slowly. Some wounds don't need to be explained, just respected. Linda looked confused. Then maybe you're not ready to heal. You're not even ready to trust. Angela nodded. You're right, I'm not. So where does this end? Linda asked. When does the punishment stop? Angela looked up at the sky. When my heart stops burning. And if that takes forever? Angela turned back to her friend and smiled sadly. Then forever it is. Linda shook her head again. I came to support you, Angela, but if I ever see you destroying yourself in the name of revenge, I'll still speak. Because I love you. You're my friend. But this version of you scares me. Angela looked away. I scare myself sometimes. Linda picked her bag. Take care of yourself, and please, whatever it is, talk to someone before it's too late. Angela nodded, but said nothing. Linda walked out of the compound quietly, her heart heavy. Angela stood alone in the garden, the wind brushing through her hair, her mind full of memories she refused to share. She thought of that hotel room, the shock, the betrayal, the pain. She thought of the lies, the messages, the tears. And she knew, if she told Linda the truth, everything would change. But she wasn't ready for that. Not yet. Maybe not ever. A week later, Angela came home from an event. She stepped into the living room and called out Daniel's name, but there was no answer. Everywhere was quiet. Too quiet. She climbed the stairs to their bedroom and stopped when she heard soft sobs coming from inside. Her heart jumped. She walked in. Daniel was sitting on the floor beside the bed, his head buried in his hands, crying like a child. His whole body shook. She had never seen him like this before, completely broken, weak and helpless. Daniel, she said softly, stepping closer. He didn't look up. He just kept crying. She sat beside him on the floor. Daniel, what's going on? He lifted his face slowly. Angela. I'm tired. I'm broken. I feel like I'm dying inside. Why are you saying this? She asked, now worried. He looked at her with so much pain. Because if you don't forgive me, or if you leave me, I'll end it. I'll harm myself. I swear I will. I can't keep living like this. Angela gasped, tears rising in her eyes. Don't talk like that. You think I'm happy like this? He said. You think I enjoy waking up every day, knowing I hurt the only woman who ever truly loved me? Daniel. Please let me talk, he said, breathing heavily. I love you, Angela. I swear I do. I was just a boy when everything went wrong. Pastor Timothy, he took me in when I had no one. My father had already destroyed my childhood. He beat me. He made me feel worthless. And then when I met Pastor Timothy, I thought he was saving me. But he was just another monster. Angela's eyes widened in shock. He knew what my father had done, Daniel continued, but instead of helping me, he started doing the same things. Slowly, secretly, he made it feel normal. Like I owed him. I was scared. I was young. I didn't know how to run. I didn't know how to say no. I grew up thinking maybe this is who I am. Daniel broke down again. Even on our wedding day, I didn't want to go to him, but he threatened me. He said he would destroy me. I was weak. I was ashamed. I didn't want you to see me as a joke. That's why I lied. That's why I let everything fall apart. Angela was already crying. Tears rolled down her cheeks. Daniel, oh my God. I'm ready to go on national television, he said suddenly. I'll confess everything. I'll tell the world. I don't care anymore. I just want you to understand me. I want your heart back. Please, Angela. Please don't do this to us. Don't walk away. If you leave me, I'm gone. Angela held his face in her hands. No, Daniel, don't say that. Don't ever say that again. I'm here. I'm not going anywhere. But how can you still love me after everything I've done? She hugged him tightly, both of them crying. Because I now understand. You were hurt, you were used, and you didn't know how to speak. Daniel, you're not a monster. You were a victim. And I'm sorry for judging you before I was angry and heartbroken. Daniel cried even harder. I'm so sorry, baby, for everything. Angela pulled back and wiped his tears. We're in this together now. That man, Pastor Timothy, he must pay. He has been doing this to others too. I've heard whispers, some even younger boys. He's dangerous. But now he messed with the wrong people. Daniel looked at her, confused. What do you mean? Angela stood up and helped him to his feet. It means we will expose him, publicly, fully. He will be arrested. He will rot in jail. This will be his end. Daniel shook his head slowly. But the church, the people, his power. Ma, I don't care, Angela said boldly. I'm not afraid of him. And you shouldn't be either. You've suffered enough. It's time we take back control. Daniel took a deep breath. But what if they don't believe us? Then we show them proof, she replied. Everything, the messages, the recordings, the things you told me. We gather it all and tell the world. Daniel looked at her, then held her hand. You really forgive me? Angela nodded. Yes. I forgive you, but only because you were brave enough to finally tell the truth. He hugged her tightly. I don't deserve you. No, she whispered. But you need me. And I need you. And that's enough. They stood there in silence, holding each other, crying, healing. For the first time in a long time, the war between them had ended. Now a new battle was about to begin. But this time they would fight on the same side. The next morning, Angela and Daniel sat side by side at the dining table, a laptop in front of them, phone recordings and messages open on the screen. The mood was serious, focused. They had made their decision. No more silence, no more shame. Pastor Timothy's reign of abuse and manipulation was over. Angela connected with a female journalist she trusted, someone who had exposed powerful corrupt figures before. They met her secretly and handed over everything. Daniel's written statement, voice notes, screenshots of messages, and a copy of one of the hotel videos showing the pastor in action. The journalist was shocked. Are you sure you want to go public with this? She asked. Daniel looked at her and nodded. I'm ready. Within days, a powerful video documentary was released online. It shook the entire country. Daniel bravely told his story on camera, his face visible, voice steady, eyes wet with emotion. I was just a boy when it started. He said he was helping me, but he destroyed me, Daniel said in the video. I kept quiet for years because I was afraid. But I'm done being afraid. He doesn't get to hide behind the pulpit anymore. Angela also spoke in the video. I stood at the altar thinking I was marrying a man who betrayed me. But what I didn't know was that he was also a victim. When he finally told me the truth, I knew we had to fight together. We are not doing this just for us, but for the other boys out there suffering in silence. People were shocked, angry, and heartbroken. Then something unexpected happened. Other victims came out. One by one, young men across different parts of the country began sharing their experiences with Pastor Timothy. Some had been church members, others were orphans, former schoolboys, and even a choir leader who had left the church years ago in silence. Each voice added fuel to the fire. The evidence piled up. Pressure mounted. Protests broke out outside Pastor Timothy's church. Police were forced to act. Exactly 1 week after the video went viral, Pastor Timothy was arrested. During the court trial, the judge, moved by the bravery of the victims, commended them publicly. Pastor Timothy was found guilty on multiple counts. The courtroom fell silent as the judge delivered the final sentence. You are hereby sentenced to 45 years in prison. Justice was served. Back home, Daniel and Angela sat in their bedroom, holding hands. Peace had returned. No more secrets, no more fear. As they laughed gently over something silly on TV, Angela turned to him. Daniel, she said quietly. Yes, my love? I want to tell you something. He looked at her. What is it? She smiled. All those men I brought to the house, the flirting, the things I said to hurt you, it was never real. I never slept with anyone. I never even went far with any of them. I just wanted to make you feel what I felt. The pain, the betrayal, the confusion. I thought if I could hurt you back, it would balance things. Daniel looked shocked. You mean, it was all fake? She nodded. Yes. I never had a boyfriend. I never wanted anyone else. It was always you. He held her hand tighter, eyes soft. Angela, thank you for forgiving me, for standing by me, for not giving up on me. She touched his face. Thank you for telling me the truth, for choosing healing instead of hiding. They leaned into each other, forehead to forehead. Daniel smiled. We made it, Angela whispered, together. They kissed gently, no tension, no guilt, just love. From that day forward, Daniel and Angela started again. No more games, no more revenge, just truth, healing, peace, and a love that survived the fire. Dear viewers, what lessons did you take away from this dramatic tale? We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed the story, give us a thumbs up, share it with friends, and hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to turn on notifications so you never miss out on our latest updates. Thanks for watching and stay blessed.